Hey, good morning, you guys. Welcome to Southern Latitudes. I'm Robin. It is a cold, brisk morning in Central Florida. It's probably in the upper 50s, which feels like a little bit of a shock after being in the 80s. But anyhow, today's project is going to be tackling this vine, and it's a perfect thing to do. Anyhow, it's a great day to tackle this project because I need clothes on because I'm allergic to the sap or whatever that's in it, the milk, and it'll mess me up real bad for Thanksgiving to be on like steroids. All right, my camera is dying, so you might not get to see this, but I'll show you the after of this when it's all done. All right. Whew, okay, you guys, I apologize for the camera kept cutting off. We went from 53% battery to 0 in about 10 seconds to do the monologue. So anyhow, I put it on charger and started my work. Couldn't wait for the camera and just wanted to show you that it took a little while. It took a good hour, but we got all the vines picked up there and that were crawling across. I couldn't believe how many were crawling across. And up into the mango. This is a Pickering mango, and it was awful. And so I also just cleaned out in front of all the cattle panels. I know a lot of people use pine needles as a means of mulching, and that is great, but it also, in my case, became a hiding place for these vines. And there, as you can see, there's still a network of vines everywhere. I got to continue getting up, and they have run this whole inner court and really the yard where there's parts they're creeping up after 3 years of this yard. Oh, actually, next week will be 4 years. 4 years since we've stripped this yard of the forest. It had a bit of a food forest going on. Not a food forest, it had a jungle going on in here. And we took out about 35 palm trees back here, and then 5 palm trees up front, and then eventually a year later we had to take out that oak that was slated to fall into our house. It was not healthy, and so and then we began developing this whole food forest. And when it was a wild jungle, it was covered in these caladiums and vines and whatever else you call them. And perhaps they're not caladiums. There were some actual true caladiums that were like a single clump and flower, but this thing with a vine, I'm not sure if that's also in the caladium family or something entirely different. Maybe one of you guys know. But it runs up the trees, and I had cleaned this tree up about 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago, and it came back not as much, but it was still, 4 to 5 feet high. Look at Buddy in the background. Do you see him? He's digging. Anyhow, so cleaned all this up. This right here is not the caladium vine. This is Piper nigrum, and I've been trying really hard to bring this thing along. It's this. Okay, so I have 2 of them here on the cattle panels. One is here and one is on the 4th cattle panel. And this one is, I believe, the one that is this the one that I had? I am now forgetting, and it really doesn't even matter. But I had one, killed one, bought a second one, almost killed, well, the frost last year. It was in the shed, and it still almost completely died in the shed. And then I got a Christmas gift of one from my dear friends and my son's in-laws. And so I think, it could be that one over there or this one, I don't know. But now I put both of them in the ground in the spring, and now both of them are doing pretty well. They didn't love the intense heat, but they love the less, like a step down in heat. So they've been taken off again the past like 6 weeks, 2 months. And they're doing well. I think that can't be right. Is that right? Huh, I'll have to explore that more later, because I also found, let me find one for you. I also found, here we go. This is potato vine, and it looks kind of similar, doesn't it? Except this one's got eaten up by bugs. But you have to be real careful. I got to get this one out too when I work in here this week. And these are my blackberries, thornless blackberries. I got 2 of them in here. I had, well, 4 altogether, and the first one died immediately, and then this one died about 1.5 years ago. So I just have these 2, and eventually we'll get to air layering if I can never get a lot of projects done. And here is the raspberries, the first one, and then the second raspberries down there, and it's kind of coming back. It didn't like the heat either. But anyhow, so this is what I'm doing. I can't say it's like one cattle pen all day, but like I did want to get this intersection done today. I don't think I'm going to tackle the grass quite yet. My thumb is still healing. It's doing pretty good, but it's doing better. But I don't want to set it back, and pulling St. Augustine just looks like it's going to set it back. That's how it looks to me. So anyhow, I do have, let's not forget this, a jumbo black muscadine vine here. It's very small. It's not happy. It needs to be on that irrigation we talked about in another video. I have irrigation coming out right over there on the left side of the fence, and I was going to run some drip lines on this inner part. Hey, buddy. No. No. Go do something else with your time. I don't want to work your... Yeah, there you go. Run around. He has loved this horseshoe cattle panel design since he was a baby. Oh my goodness, this is his playground. Let's see, I also have a Meyer lemon here. So we cleared out, I cleared out the weeds right there. And I have a second one when I get to this section of the cattle panels. I'll clear out this one a little bit better. Maybe we'll get fruit next year. Maybe if I'm nice to it and stop neglecting them. But all right, so I'm in this section right now. I don't know how much battery I have left, but I'm just going to throw this back on charger and bring you in for updates. That may be the best way, and also to keep it kind of short. What do you think, Lulu? You like that grass? It had your name all over it. It was nice and soft, tender stuff. She's listening to me. Lulu is our almost 10-year-old bunny, and she is officially blind in both eyes now. Before Ian, she was only blind in one eye, and yeah, the other eye went too. So we touch her, we feel her, we let her know where her food is, although she's pretty capable in her own cage. I saw this little pot of grass sitting out there in the food forest. I'm not sure what grass it is. It's really soft, and thought she'd like to nibble on it. Okay, you guys, it is now heading close to lunchtime, and I've been interrupted a lot, and I'm losing my gusto, at least for now. So I'm gonna go eat lunch. Maybe tonight I'll be able to come back and do more, but for right now, let's just end the video here. And I got a little bit more done in this area. I took what I really needed to do, I've been saying I was going to do for a long time, is take longevity spinach cuttings and start some new ones. So I did that, and then it took a long time. I had a lot of potato vine on this cattle panel, that cattle panel, and over there, so I had to unweave all that. I cut back some of the edges on the pineapples just because, I mean, I got tired of being speared in the legs 100 times. And probably need to continue with this one. I like how nice and clean this is looking on the inside. That's kind of like how it looked when we first moved into this space and put the cattle panels up. I did notice this cattle panel has broken away from the T-post. So I need to, it's still connected at the bottom, which is good. But I do need to fix this. And it might not be too helpful that this elderberry has grown through. It came off the mother one, right? And it came through and then it grew this way, and it's been rubbing itself raw, probably with all the hurricanes, and it's pressing on this, and it probably just popped this piece right here. So I'm gonna have to, I wanted to keep that one too, but I think I'm gonna have to make the ugly decision and take it out because it's affecting the structure. And you know, I have elderberry here also. That's a baby. Elderberry puts out a lot of babies, and so I'm not worried about, you know, where I'm gonna get the next elderberry from. So this is still a pretty young tree. It might be like 2 years old. It really started blooming this year. It put just a little bit of fruit on, but not much. And I did save it, but and dried it. So I could make elderberry syrup, but I was waiting to have more, and I just didn't get that this year. So anyhow, you guys, clean up the pathway a little bit. Also, I put out my new bird feeder, finally filled it with bird food, and put the other one there, and that's it. So that's where we're going to end the video today. You guys take care. God bless. Be looking in the next video for the other side of the cattle panel trellis tunnel. Bye.